It's John here, Primebrothersbutchershoppe. We're doing another one of these beef breakdown videos here on YouTube, and for all of our viewers out there, we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, watching these. It's pretty awesome. We have a pretty big following on Facebook and Instagram. The local community's been great. Out here in Garner, North Carolina, we've been really blessed with the community coming out for us. So we've been having a lot of fun doing these videos too, where we kind of explain exactly what we do here at the shop, to kind of get these pieces of meat to the beautiful steaks that you guys see in the case when you come in. So we're going to start with filet mignon today, guys. Beef tenderloin. So this is an awesome one. This is a good breakdown video for a couple of reasons. We sell a ton of filet mignon here, a lot of filet steaks. There's a bunch of different ways to do this, guys, and to cook this. There's a lot of different methods, and we're gonna go over that. Another thing is, a lot of people will buy these whole, so they'll buy whole tenderloins. You may even find these in the grocery store, whole in the cryovac bag like this. And then it's up to you at home to kind of trim them up and get them ready to go, merchandise them down into something usable, a bunch of different meals, and that's something I'm gonna try and help you with a little bit today. With some of my experience, I wanna give some to you guys and show you what I would do with these fillets, how we merchandise them here. So that way, if you guys do buy one at home, or if you come into the shop, you maybe have a better idea on exactly what you're looking for. So first off, let's start, we'll start with one filet mignon for roasts. A couple different roast options here. Beef tenderloin roasts are super common during the holidays. Filet mignon, that center cut is called the Chateaubriand. It's the nice center cut filet mignon, super lean, super tender, very good piece of meat. They cook up very quick. You can do them in the oven, about a 500-degree oven, for only about a half an hour. So it's a quick cook, and they are very good. Or again, you can cut these down and make individual filet mignon steaks out of them, which are always fantastic. So can't really go wrong. Now, filet mignon is one of those things that's very lean. It's extremely tender, but very lean. So it may not have the fat and the flavor that maybe a ribeye does or a prime rib roast does, but this is something you're almost gonna eat with a spoon. It's gonna be so tender. This is certified Angus prime that we're dealing with here, so very good quality stuff. That's all that we like to sell, but that's what we're gonna show you guys today. So I start by flipping these over. You have two sections, one that's kind of the tail of the filet, and then one that's called the head section. That head section is also known in the industry as kind of the butt portion of the filet mignon. We're gonna flip that over here, and we're just gonna take off a little tiny bit of this connective tissue that's down here on the bottom, clean up some of this fat here. And these are really simple, guys, so don't be intimidated to do these at home. You're gonna trim up some of this fat right along the bottom here. I like to take my knife and just glide it. So as you can see, I'm not really cutting into the meat, I'm more along just pushing, and by pushing, I can kind of push that fat right on off. For those of you, now we here have a big old meat grinder. If you don't have a grinder at home, you can also use a food processor, but you can definitely get a grinder is your best bet. You can even get some for like kind of the rubber or the mixer attachments, the small ones at home. And a meat grinder is going to really allow you to utilize every single piece that you are taking off of this. So as you can see, absolutely nothing here goes in the garbage can. We're going to utilize everything. So that right there is going right into this tub right here. That's going to be for our beautiful burgers that we're going to grind up using that ground filet mignon. So again, I'm just gonna trim this up. Now I'm flipping this filet over now that I kind of cleaned up. I didn't go crazy here, nothing at all. I didn't dig into that meat. I just took a little tiny layer off. Again, this is a beautiful piece of meat. We don't wanna waste it, so we wanna keep as much on there as we can. I start by loosening at the top here, this little membrane right here, which is gonna release a piece of fat, guys. And then we can kind of clean this up a little bit. Again, right into that beautiful ground beef over there. This whole top is going to have a membrane on here that's going to pull up and separate. And again, I don't even have to use my knife here. You're kind of see a lot of butchery is done by pulling. We're working with muscles here, muscles of the animal. So you don't have to use your knife for everything. A lot of it you can use your hands, and you can separate different pieces as I'm doing here without using that knife. On this side, you have what's called the chain of the fillet. You can keep that on in some cases, however, it does have a lot of sinew in it. It's a little bit chewy. It's something that we don't really prefer to keep on. For true nice center cut fillets or for filet roast, you're gonna wanna take that off. All right guys, so after trimming up that filet mignon, taking that really tough silver skin layer off and all that nasty fat and other stuff that was on there, now it's time to get to the fun part, making it really nice, look nice and nice, ready to cook. So first thing we're gonna do, this filet mignon has a couple different sides to it like we were talking about earlier, and we wanna make sure that it's even, because when something is even, especially for what we're doing here as a roast, it's going to cook the best. We want it to be nice and even so that we don't have some bits that are super well done and other bits that are underdone. We wanna make sure this thing is nice and even all the way through. So as you can see here, this thing is not even at all. We're gonna fix that just by taking the tail here, cutting about 3/4 of the way down, and then tucking it underneath. And as you can see now, that evens that up nice and beautifully. And we're gonna bring this butt forward just a little bit. Square the end up there. We'll use that little bit as a beautiful steak tip. That goes into our steak tips over there. We use those guys, marinated steak tips. If you guys come into the shop, I'm sure you are familiar with those. They're very popular. So this again is your beautiful filet mignon roast. You wanna tie this up. And I like to space my strings when I'm doing this, so basically I know exactly where I'm gonna cut it when I go to serve it. So I do them for about 8-ounce portions. General rule of thumb, guys, one whole filet is gonna feed about 6-7 adults. Maybe 8 or 9 on a real big one. Not if you got guys my size eating, that's for sure. And again, really quick cook. These are about a 500-degree oven. I do them super hot, 500 degrees for only about 30-35 minutes till that internal gets to about 120, 125, right in that range. Then I just let them rest. You want to make sure that you let them rest a good bit of time. That's going to let the juices redistribute in there and not just kind of bleed out on you. Keep the meat nice and juicy when you actually carve it to serve. Again, guys, so that right there is a whole tenderloin trussed, ready to go. And you can see it's nice and even. I'm going to bring it over here to the camera so you guys can see. Once you get all those strings there nice and trussed on, it's a very nice even roast. So really beautiful piece. Again, as a whole one like that, it's going to serve about 6 or 7 adults. Again, these are prime fillets, so they are a little pricey. We are going to split this in half here, merchandise them down for our case out there as filet mignon roasts. Those are now beautiful meals for about 3-4 adults each, and they're absolutely gorgeous fillets. So they'll be out there in the case too. So if you're in the area and want beautiful prime filet roasts, you know where to go get them. Now let's see exactly what you do for the steaks, guys. So here's another one of those fillets. For us to get the steaks, same concept, except we just go straight down pretty much. We're gonna get a couple extra steak tips out of this one, so you'll see. I'm just gonna clean the butt portion of this fillet up. Take off anything that's extra layers of fat and really any silver skin or sinew. And again, all this stuff is perfectly fine to eat, guys. It's just for a beautiful filet mignon steak, you don't want it on there. So this is more stuff that what you're gonna do is grind it up so you can make an awesome hamburger. It's gonna make an insane burger, and that's why if you've ever had one of our Prime Brothers steak burgers, you know what I'm talking about. Again, I'm just gonna clean up the bottom right there just a little bit. You don't wanna go too deep at all. Go ahead and turn her over now. Again, this is where you kind of let your hands do the work, so go in here and clean that top off and just pull away from there. You can be a little gentle here. Clean up that chain, get her off there. Again, all this is gonna go beautifully into that nice ground that we're gonna use for our Prime Brothers steak burger. Super good stuff. Right here, we're gonna take that silver skin off the top of the fillet, guys. Again, you wanna take that knife and you wanna angle it upwards towards you, not down into the meat. You don't want to work in a jagged motion. You want to use kind of one swift, clean motion if you can, just like that. Clean that silver skin off. Beautiful. Once you get that silver skin off, guys, take this nice fillet. We're gonna square it up, get a couple steak tips for the marinated steak tip tray. Beautiful prime fillet, that's why you guys know they're so tender. Or if you didn't know, you know now, that's why. Go ahead and cut these down right about that 8-ounce mark. And now you have beautiful prime fillets, fresh cut, that simple. And again, depending on the size of the loin, you're gonna get anywhere from about 6 to 8 out of each one. We take a little piece of paper here, layer these out. Bring this a little bit closer just so you guys can see here. Great quality, like I said, right about 8 to 10 ounces each. But that's pretty much it, guys. So I would do a couple more of those. We're gonna fill that tray up. That's gonna go into the case. Then we're gonna have beautiful fresh fillets out there for when you guys come in. When you do come in, we'll pull these trays out, show them to you just like this, so that way you guys can pick whichever ones you like. They're absolutely beautiful. All right, guys, and again, so these USDA Prime certified Angus beef filet mignon roasts are absolutely beautiful. They're nice and even, ready for the oven. Again, very nice. This is definitely a fancier roast beef for maybe a special event, a holiday, a birthday, an anniversary, something like that. But they are absolutely, absolutely great roast beef. One of the most tender you're going to get. And then again, you can slice them down, right down here into steaks without tying them up for the roast. And that's how we fill our case with those certified Angus beef prime filet mignons. Again, they're hand cut, but they are right about 8 to 10 ounces each. Really nice steaks, guys. Everything hand cut. My name is John, Prime Brothers Butcher Shop. Thank you guys so much. One last thing, we are trying to grow the channel, so we appreciate this. If you guys like this kind of content, make sure to like this channel, like the video, subscribe, and then definitely comment below on kind of what you guys want to see next, on exactly maybe what cut of meat you guys would want to see broken down, and kind of some other ideas. So we are going to be doing more different sausage videos coming up shortly, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And Easter's coming up shortly, which means a ton of American lamb that we're going to be focusing on. So I'm going to be showing you guys a bunch of American lamb, legs of lamb, racks of lamb, that kind of stuff. Again, guys, John, Prime Brothers Butcher Shop. Thank you guys so much for watching.